Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we are exploring one of the most legendary, most talked about, and most misunderstood modern coins in American history. The 1965 Washington Quarter, a coin that tens of millions of people have handled, spent, saved, and ignored for decades. Yet suddenly, this ordinary-looking quarter is all over the internet because of claims that one rare example could be worth as much as $1.9 million. Is it true? Why is this coin so important? Could a hidden treasure be sitting inside your pocket at this very moment? Let's uncover the truth. To understand the 1965 quarter, we have to travel back to the financial chaos of the early 1960s. For decades, American dimes, quarters, and half dollars had been made of 90% silver. But by 1964, the value of silver had climbed so high that people started hoarding coins for their metal content. Machines jammed, banks ran out of change, and the government faced a nationwide coin shortage unlike anything it had seen before. To fix the problem, the Coinage Act of 1965 changed everything. The United States Mint removed silver from the quarter entirely and replaced it with a copper core and a nickel outer layer. This is the same metal blend still used today. The first year of this new clad quarter was 1965, marking one of the biggest transitions in American coinage since the early 20th century. But the year 1965 brought another twist. Because of the chaos caused by hoarding, the Mint made a highly unusual decision. They completely eliminated mint marks on coins from 1965 through 1967. This meant that no one could tell whether a coin came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The goal was simple: stop people from collecting fresh coins by the millions. As a result, the 1965 Washington Quarter exists without any mint mark at all. Now let's talk about the most exciting part. Could a 1965 quarter be worth $1.9 million? The answer is connected to one of the most dramatic minting mysteries in United States history. When the mint transitioned from silver to clad coinage, thousands of leftover silver planchets were still in the minting equipment. A few of these blanks accidentally slipped through and were struck with the new 1965 design. This created one of the most famous modern rarities ever discovered, the 1965 silver quarter. Only a tiny number of genuine silver 1965 quarters exist. They are legendary among collectors because they were never supposed to exist at all. These rare wrong planchet coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. A flawless, perfectly preserved silver 1965 quarter could easily reach into the six-figure range. But what about the $1.9 million claim? For a coin to reach that level, it would need to be not simply a silver planchet error, but an extreme, once-in-history minting mistake. Imagine a 1965 quarter struck on a leftover 90% silver planchet that was double-struck. Imagine a broad strike error combined with a wrong metal strike. Imagine a double-denomination coin where the 1965 quarter was accidentally struck over a silver dime. A spectacular, show-stopping combination of errors could potentially reach incredible value if it were unique, visually dramatic, and authenticated by a major grading service. These are the kinds of coins that create headlines, break records, and spark viral stories online. The reason the 1965 quarter is always surrounded by rumors of million-dollar prices is because this year is connected to the most chaotic minting transition in modern history. And chaos creates mistakes. Mistakes create rarity. And rarity creates value. So how do you check if your 1965 quarter is valuable? Start with the simplest test, the sound test. A silver coin rings with a sharp, high pitch, while a clad coin produces a duller, flatter sound. Next, check the edge of the coin. A clad quarter has a copper-colored stripe. A silver error quarter will be solid silver color from top to bottom with no copper line. Next, examine the weight. A regular clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams. A silver planchet should weigh around 6.25 grams. This difference is enough to separate a normal coin from a rare treasure. Finally, look for dramatic errors. Off-center strikes, double strikes, missing edges, wrong shapes, blurry or doubled images. These are the signs that a coin could be worth big money. And if you find anything unusual, always send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Authentication is essential for rare coins. The 1965 Washington Quarter is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of change, transition, and the unpredictable world of minting. It reminds us that history can hide in the smallest objects, and that even a simple quarter can carry secrets worth thousands or even millions of dollars. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mystery and value of the 1965 Washington quarter, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another treasure hunting adventure. Your next great discovery could be waiting in your pocket right now. If you want, I can create a longer documentary style, a shorter version, or a more dramatic version for your channel. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood stories in modern coin collecting. The Washington quarter from 1982, specifically the 1982 D issue, has recently exploded across the internet because of claims that one of these coins could be worth up to $1.5 million. That is a life-changing number for a coin most people still have sitting in an old jar, a drawer, or even circulating in pocket change. So what is the truth? Is the 1982 D quarter really hiding secret million-dollar treasures? Let's go back in time and uncover the history, the value, the rare errors, and the possibilities that fuel these unbelievable stories. That we begin in 1932, when sculptor John Flanagan's design of George Washington was chosen for the new quarter. His design quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of American currency. For more than 6 decades, the Washington quarter remained mostly unchanged, even as the country transformed. By the time we reached 1982, the quarter had become a modern workhorse of everyday American commerce. But 1982 was not a normal year for coin collecting. Due to budget cuts, the United States Mint did not produce mint sets that year. This one decision instantly made high-quality 1982 coins harder to find because collectors didn't receive their usual uncirculated sets directly from the mint. Instead, the only way to get pristine 1982 coins was to pull them from circulation or from bankrolls before they were handled. That is why any 1982 D quarter found today in top mint state condition is much more valuable than the average modern coin. Now let's focus on the Denver Mint. The 1982 D quarter had a high mintage, meaning millions were created. Most of them are common. Most of them are worn. Most of them sit in pockets, vending machines, and coin jars just like any other quarter. But there is something that makes certain ones special. Because 1982 coins weren't preserved in mint sets, the number of surviving top-grade examples is very small. And when rarity meets high condition, collectors pay big money. But what about that massive $1.5 million claim? This is where the story becomes exciting. Just like many other modern coins, the real jackpot doesn't come from the regular minting. It comes from mistakes, mint errors, unexpected anomalies that slip through the minting process and become accidental masterpieces of rarity. A coin like a 1982 D quarter would only reach spectacular values if it contained an extreme, unique, dramatic mint error that caught the attention of the collecting world. Imagine a 1982 D quarter struck on the wrong planchet, such as a silver planchet from decades earlier. Imagine a double denomination error where a quarter was struck over another coin entirely. Imagine a massive off-center strike with the date perfectly visible, or a double strike where 2 separate images overlap each other. These kinds of errors are so shocking, so visually impressive, and so unbelievably rare that elite collectors would compete fiercely to own them. If such an error were unique and in pristine, untouched condition, the price could rise into 6 figures or beyond in the right auction. The $1.5 million number is fueled by the idea that an ultra-rare, once-in-history mint error could exist, but has never been widely documented. So how do you know if your 1982 D quarter is valuable? First, examine the coin closely under good lighting. Look for unusual shapes, distortions, or missing edges. Check for off-center strikes where the design is shifted dramatically to one side. Look for double images, repeated numbers, or ghost-like outlines. A clipped planchet looks like someone cut a bite out of the edge. A wrong metal planchet will give the coin an unusual color or weight. These are the signs that can turn pocket change into treasure. Second, check the condition. Even without a major error, a flawless mint state 1982 D quarter can be worth far more than face value because so few high-grade examples exist. Coins with sharp details, bright surfaces, and no signs of wear attract collectors. Third, Always authenticate valuable-looking coins through a major grading service. A certified error or high-grade example commands much higher prices and ensures that the coin is genuine. The story of the 1982 D. Washington quarter reminds us of a powerful truth. Even the everyday coins we take for granted have stories, history, and potential value far beyond what we expect. And every once in a while, one of those coins carries a secret, a flaw, a rarity, a little twist of fate from the minting machines that turns it into a hidden treasure. That is why coin collecting continues to captivate people all over the world. Because you never really know what might be sitting in your pocket right now. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare quarters, coin history, and the myths behind viral million-dollar claims, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another episode. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. If you want an even longer version, a more dramatic version, or a more documentary-style narration, I can create that too. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we are traveling back to one of the most important and misunderstood years in modern American coin history. We are talking about the 1967 Washington quarter, a coin that millions of people still have hidden in jars, drawers, and old boxes. Recently, this simple quarter has gone viral because of claims that a rare version could be worth as much as $1.7 million. That kind of value gets people excited, but is it real? What makes this coin special? And could you actually have a treasure sitting in your pocket right now? Let's dive deep into the history, the value, the rare errors, and the truth behind the 1967 quarter. To understand the 1967 quarter, we need to rewind a few years. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. But in the early 1960s, silver prices rose sharply. People began hoarding coins, and the United States faced a nationwide coin shortage. To fix this problem, the government passed the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from quarters and dimes entirely. In place of silver, the mint introduced a copper core wrapped in a nickel outer layer. This new clad composition is still used today, but the transition created chaos. Coins were disappearing from circulation as people saved them, waiting for silver prices to rise. So in 1967, the United States Mint made a bold decision. They removed mint marks from all coins. That means the 1967 Washington quarter has no P, no D, and no S. The idea was simple. If people could not tell where a coin was minted, they would stop saving them. As a result, all 1967 quarter dollars looked the same no matter which mint produced them. Another unique feature of this era is the special mint set, also known as SMS coins. From 1965 to 1967, instead of producing traditional proof sets, the mint created these improved quality sets. Coins in these sets were struck with extra pressure and polished dies, giving them a smoother, more reflective appearance. Some 1967 SMS quarters are beautifully struck with sharp details and glossy surfaces. High-grade SMS examples can be worth far more than an ordinary circulation strike. But now we need to talk about the part that everyone is curious about. Could a 1967 quarter really be worth $1.7 million? The answer is both complex and fascinating. A regular 1967 quarter, even in excellent condition, is not worth anything close to $1 million. Most circulated pieces are still worth 25 cents. Even a typical SMS example sells for a modest amount. But the million-dollar rumors come from the world of rare mint errors, the category where truly incredible treasures are found. To reach $1.7 million, a 1967 quarter would have to feature an error so dramatic, so unique, and so unexpected that it becomes a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Imagine a 1967 quarter struck on the wrong metal, such as a leftover silver planchet from 1964. Imagine a double denomination strike where the quarter was stamped over a different coin entirely, such as a dime or a penny. Imagine a huge off-center strike where the coin is missing part of the design, but the date remains fully visible. Or imagine a double strike with overlapping images on both sides that transforms the coin into something visually unbelievable. These are the kinds of errors that can reach astonishing values. When collectors see a mistake so shocking that it looks impossible, bidding wars begin. The most extreme errors can sell for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in extremely rare cases, potentially over $1 million if the error is unique in the entire history of minting desks. Oh, how do you check if your 1967 quarter has rare value? Start by looking for anything unusual. Examine the rim to see if part of the coin is missing or clipped. Look for any dramatic off-center strikes. Look for double images on Washington's face or the text around the edges. Look at the eagle on the reverse to see if the design is distorted or duplicated. If the coin looks thicker or thinner than usual, it might be a wrong planchet strike. If the metal color looks different, it could indicate a rare composition error. Next, check the condition. While most 1967 quarters are heavily circulated, a perfect SMS example with deep mirrors and razor-sharp details can still bring strong prices. And if you think your coin might be rare, always send it to a professional grading service. Authentication is essential, especially when it comes to rare mint errors. The story of the 1967 Washington quarter is the story of a changing nation, shifting metal values, and a mint trying to adapt to a new era. It is a reminder that history lives in the smallest places, even in the coins we pass from hand to hand without a second thought. And it shows us that treasure can hide in plain sight. A rare mint error could be waiting in your pocket right now. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the history and mystery of the 1967 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode of coin knowledge and hidden treasure hunting. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and good luck checking your change. The next rare coin could be yours. If you want, I can create a longer, more dramatic, or shorter version for your channel style. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and mysterious modern coins in American history. The 1981 P. Washington quarter has recently become the subject of massive online buzz because of claims that one of these coins could be worth as much as $1.6 million. A number like that is unbelievable, almost magical, and it has people all over the world checking their pocket change with new excitement. But what is the truth behind the 1981 P quarter? How rare is it? What is its history? And could one really be worth over $1 million? Let's explore the real story. Our journey starts with the iconic Washington quarter itself. First minted in 1932 to honor George Washington on his 200th birthday, the design by sculptor John Flanagan became one of the longest-running designs in American coinage. By the time we reached the early 1980s, the Washington quarter had been circulating for 50 years, surviving wars, recessions, new technology, and changes in the metals used to make coins. Now, let's step into the year 1981. The United States Mint was running at full speed. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of coins, including the 1981 P quarter. At first glance, this coin seems extremely common. But the mystery of the 1981 P quarter lies not in how many were made, but in how few survive in pristine condition today. In the early 1980s, collectors did not have easy access to high-grade circulation coins. Mint sets were produced, but many people did not save them with the same care as earlier decades. As a result, finding a 1981 P quarter with perfect luster, sharp detail, and nowhere is surprisingly difficult. Collectors began paying attention to the 1981 P quarter for one major reason: quality. The Philadelphia Mint was known for producing lightly struck coins during this time. Weak strikes mean the details on Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the text around the rim often appears soft or flattened. Strong, sharp strikes are rare, and rarity always leads to higher values. But the real fuel behind the million-dollar rumors comes from something far more exciting: mint errors. The U.S. Mint uses massive machinery to strike thousands of coins every minute. Once in a while, something goes wrong, and a mistake is born. These mistakes are like accidental masterpieces, and collectors pay enormous sums for the most dramatic ones. For a 1981 P quarter to reach a value anywhere near $1.6 million, it would have to contain an error so shocking, so unique, so one-of-a-kind that it becomes legendary among collectors. Imagine a double-denomination strike, where a quarter is accidentally stamped over a completely different coin. Imagine a wrong planchet error where the quarter is struck on a silver planchet or on a foreign coin blank. Imagine a full off-center strike with the date perfectly visible, or a spectacular double strike that creates overlapping images on both sides of the coin. These kinds of errors are incredibly rare, and when they happen, collectors compete fiercely to own them. Although no confirmed 1981 P quarter has ever sold for $1.6 million, the theoretical possibility exists because of the unpredictable nature of mint errors. One unique, extreme, visually stunning error could indeed reach astronomical value if authenticated and auctioned to elite collectors willing to pay for something truly unmatched. So, how do you check if your 1981 P quarter is special? Start by examining the coin under strong light. Look for dramatic visual abnormalities. If the design is shifted, doubled, missing, stretched, or strangely shaped, you may have discovered an error. Look for clipped edges that seem bitten off. Look for wrong color or unusual weight, which could indicate a different metal planchet. And most importantly, check the condition. A perfect, uncirculated 1981 P quarter, even without an error, can already be worth far more than face value because so few exist in high grade. If you find something unusual, always send it to a major grading company. Professional authentication is essential for any serious collector or auction house. Without certification, rare coins rarely reach their full potential at sale. The story of the 1981 P. Washington quarter is a reminder of the hidden world inside everyday objects. It shows us that even the coins we touch without thinking, the coins that pass through millions of hands, might contain secrets waiting to be discovered. Every coin has a history, and every coin carries the possibility of becoming treasure, and that is why coin collecting continues to grow. It's not just about money. It's about mystery, history, and the thrill of discovery. One rare error could turn an ordinary quarter into a fortune, and that is why people keep searching. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1981 P. Washington quarter, its history, its potential value, and the truth behind the $1.6 million claim, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode. Thank you for watching, and happy hunting. Your next rare coin might be hiding in your pocket right now. If you want, I can make a more dramatic, documentary style, or even longer version. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we are exploring one of the most surprising and misunderstood coins in American history, the 1967 Washington quarter. Recently, videos and articles all over the internet have claimed that a rare example of this coin could be worth as much as $1.8 million. That kind of number makes people rush to their change jars, dig through old drawers, and scan their pockets with brand new excitement. But what is the truth? What makes the 1967 quarter so fascinating, so mysterious, and so full of potential treasure? Let's dive into the history, the value, the minting secrets, and the rare errors that fuel the million-dollar rumors. To understand why the 1967 quarter matters, we have to travel back to the early 1960s. For decades, American dimes, quarters, and half dollars were made of 90% silver. But by 1964, the country faced a massive coin shortage. Silver prices were rising, people were hoarding coins, and the government decided it had to make a major change. The Coinage Act of 1965 removed silver from the dime and quarter entirely and replaced it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. It was one of the biggest shifts in U.S. coinage history, and the effects were felt for years. By 1967, the mint was still recovering from the chaos. To stop people from collecting and hoarding coins, the government did something unusual. They removed mint marks altogether. That means the 1967 quarter does not have a P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco. It was done to keep the public from saving new coins by the thousands. As a result, the 1967 Washington quarter is one of only a few modern coins without any mint mark at all. But what really makes 1967 stand out is something even more interesting. The United States Mint did not produce traditional proof sets from 1965 to 1967. Instead, they created what were called special mint sets. These SMS coins were struck with better quality than regular circulation coins, but not quite at proof level. Some of the 1967 SMS quarters have deeply mirrored surfaces, razor-sharp details, and pristine finishes that collectors now consider beautiful and highly desirable. Finding one of these in nearly perfect condition can be worth serious money. Now let's talk about the part that everyone wants to know. Could a 1967 quarter really be worth $1.8 million? The short answer is this. A regular 1967 quarter will not be worth that amount, no matter how shiny it is. But the million-dollar claim comes from the world of rare mint errors. These are mistakes made during the minting process that are so unusual and so dramatic that they become one-of-a-kind treasures. Imagine a 1967 quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet left over from 1964. Imagine a double denomination strike where a quarter was stamped over a different coin entirely. Imagine a huge off-center strike where half the design is missing but the date is perfectly visible. Imagine a double strike where two overlapping images create a coin unlike anything else in existence. These types of errors are extremely rare, and collectors will pay enormous amounts for the most dramatic examples. For a 1967 quarter to ever reach a value as high as $1.8 million, it would have to be a perfect storm of rarity. It would need to be a never-before-seen mint error, visually stunning, historically unusual, and certified by a major grading service as completely unique. These kinds of discoveries do happen, but they are incredibly rare. That is what fuels the excitement. The idea that an ordinary-looking quarter from 1967 could contain a rare mint error that slipped through the cracks and ended up in someone's pocket. A coin that could turn into a life-changing discovery. So how do you check if your 1967 quarter is worth money? First, examine the coin closely. Look for off-center designs, doubled images, missing rims, or misshapen edges. Look for coins that appear thicker or thinner than normal. Look for unusual colors or weights, which might indicate a wrong planchet. If the coin looks like nothing you have ever seen before, it may be worth getting professionally graded. Next, consider condition. While most circulated 1967 quarters are worth face value, an SMS example in near-perfect condition can be valuable. Coins with deep mirrors, strong strikes, and flawless surfaces can sell for impressive amounts. Finally, always authenticate rare finds through a major grading service. Professional certification is essential if you believe you have discovered a valuable error. The story of the 1967 Washington quarter is the story of change, transition, and mystery in the world of American coinage. It is a reminder that history is often hiding in plain sight, that even the most ordinary-looking quarter could hold secrets, surprises, and potentially incredible value. So keep checking your change, keep learning, and keep searching, because the next rare mint error could be sitting in your pocket right now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and hidden treasures, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more amazing discoveries. Happy treasure hunting! If you want, I can write a longer version, a more dramatic documentary style, or a version designed specifically for Shorts or TikTok. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most surprising modern coins in American pocket change, the 1997 Washington quarter. This coin has recently been the center of attention online because of claims that a rare example could be worth as much as $1.4 million. That number turns heads, sparks curiosity, and sends thousands of people digging through their change jars. But what is the truth? What makes this coin interesting? Could a 1997 quarter really be worth that kind of money? Let's explore the history, the value, the minting secrets, and the rare errors behind the 1997 quarter. To understand this coin, we need to go back to the origins of the Washington quarter. First minted in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, the design by John Flanagan became one of the longest-running designs in the history of American currency. For decades, the Washington quarter remained unchanged, even as the world around it evolved. By 1997, the familiar design was nearing the end of its run. In just 2 years, the Mint would launch the State Quarter program, bringing new and exciting designs to the quarter. That makes the 1997 one of the final years of the classic Washington quarter era. Now let's talk about the Denver Mint. In 1997, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters. In fact, most 1997 quarters are extremely common. If you find one in worn or circulated condition, it's usually only worth 25 cents. Even a nice, shiny example often brings only a small premium, but not all coins are created equal. Some 1997 quarters were struck with unusually sharp details and beautiful, almost mirror-like surfaces. These high-grade examples can sell for impressive amounts when professionally graded. Finding a perfect, untouched, mint-state coin is much harder than many people think, especially after years in circulation. But here's where things get interesting. The million-dollar rumors come from one category that always excites collectors: mint errors. Sometimes during the minting process, the machinery slips, the metal blanks misfeed, or the dies strike incorrectly. These mistakes can create stunning and rare coins, and collectors love dramatic errors. A 1997 D quarter would only reach a value anywhere near $1.4 million if it were a massive, one-of-a-kind minting error, something unlike anything ever seen before. For example, imagine a quarter accidentally struck on the wrong metal, such as a silver planchet left over from decades earlier. Imagine a double denomination strike where a quarter design is pressed over another coin entirely. Imagine a deep, dramatic off-center strike that pushes the entire image off the coin while keeping the date fully visible. Or imagine a double strike so extreme that two overlapping Washington heads appear on the obverse. These kinds of errors are incredibly rare. When something spectacular appears at auction, collectors go wild. Ultra-rare, dramatic, and visually stunning errors can reach tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in theory, if the error were completely unique and historically significant, the bidding could climb even higher. Now, how do you check if your 1997 D quarter is valuable? Start with a careful visual inspection. Look for an off-center design, where part of the image is pushed toward the edge. Look for doubled letters or numbers that appear layered. Look for missing sections, unusual shapes, or coins that appear stretched or distorted. Check the edge to see if there's anything unusual, such as missing metal or clipped sections. And pay attention to the color and weight. A wrong metal planchet will often look and feel different. Next, consider the condition. A perfectly preserved 1997 D quarter with flawless surfaces, sharp details, and no signs of wear can earn high grades from professional grading services. These high-grade coins can reach strong prices in the collector market. Finally, if you think your coin is unusual or extremely high quality, submit it for authentication. Professional grading is essential if you want to sell a rare coin for serious money. Without certification, even dramatic errors may not reach their true value. The 1997 D Washington quarter is a reminder that even modern coins can carry hidden surprises. It teaches us that history is still being minted right in front of our eyes, and that treasure can hide in the most ordinary places. Millions of people use these quarters every day without realizing that one rare mint error could change someone's life. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the history, value, and mystery of the 1997 D Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another coin hunting adventure. Keep checking your change, keep learning, and who knows? The next million-dollar discovery might be sitting in your pocket right now. If you want a longer, more dramatic, documentary-style version, I can create that too.